Welcome to the MainSplaining channel. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. I think I said them all. Did I say them all?
Yeah, I think you've said them all.
Yeah, yeah, it's all of them. And I have a guest today. It's been a minute or two.
Yeah.
Minute or two means it's been years, a couple of years, yeah. But Emily, right?
Yeah.
Emily.
Okay.
There's another name I know you by, but I'll keep it to myself. It's best. No?
Yeah, no, it's best if you keep it to yourself.
Yeah,
I just
I'll
go by
keep
the
it to
name of
myself.
Emily for now.
Emily. Yeah. How have you been?
Yo, Mudim, I've been okay.
Yeah.
I've been okay.
Yeah,
Life has
because
been-
it's really been a while, to be honest. And I'm curious, what are you up to nowadays?
Okay, so Emily, I go by the name of Emily Eden.
Yes.
So what I'm doing currently is that I'm an event planner by profession.
Okay.
And I also do run a side hustle. What I do is that it's an IFA. So I'm not sure if you're familiar with the business area IFA.
I'm
So
not,
we are...
But I'll get to it.
Yeah.
I
Just
want
in
you
general.
to go back to the, what do you say, events, what?
Yeah, I'm an events planner.
Yeah, events planner.
Yeah,
What
so-
is that?
So basically, you just plan events. Like, for instance, a client will come to you and say that I want to host a baby shower. So when your job is to basically do the admin side of it, from planning the event to liaising with third parties such as the suppliers, deco, catering, and also basically ensuring that the day runs smoothly. In a nutshell, that's what event planning is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or in a smaller scale, man.
Yeah, in a small.
You know, when I hear like events planning, I always
You think in corporate
big. Yeah, I'm thinking
events.
big.
No,
like, okay,
no,
'cause,
nah, I'm
the
still in a micro
responsibility,
scale
Okay.
of planning.
And what advice would you give, let's say, a young person? Is it always best to really start small, and then from there, then you'll grow slowly? And
I think the best is basically to just work with somebody who's already in the space. By
Okay.
starting small, maybe getting a job in that space, learning all you need to learn. For instance, because you also need to get clients. So
Yeah.
already when you are working with somebody who has an established clientele, you get to basically also tap into their own clientele. So they get to know you, and also you're basically raising funds that way. So once you have learned all that there is to learn regarding the industry, then you can go like on your own. So right now, for instance, I'm actually getting contracted as an event planner for a small business.
Okay.
So that way, I'm learning all that I need to learn, and also basically building my own clientele that way.
And from your experience, nah, when it comes to events planning, like what scale can you say you can manage on your own?
Yo, basically 500 people event.
500.
Yeah. Because right now that's basically the scale that we're working on.
Okay.
So when you mentioned like, no, event AK hosting is basically 500 people. Yeah, that's where I am. So when you mention a smaller Nyana number, as to a certain extent, as much as that is more detail oriented, it's boring.
Oh, is it
Yeah.
like the pressure?
Yeah, I like the pressure. I like the pressure because now and the next coming weeks, the event that we're hosting will, the capacity is 1.5 people.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it comes with its stresses, but it's nice. at
Is
the
it a
end of the
new
day.
number? This 1.5.
No, it's actually not a new number because in 2018, we worked on an event, they accommodate about 2,000. So after that,
You pulled it off though. Did you pull it off?
we did, funny enough. It was hectic, a lot of sleepless nights, but we pulled it off. So Ayana, it's more high profile. Yeah, the 1.5.
5.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's more high profile. Elena, it was high profile, but this one is like intense. Because
Let's look at the. Okay, now because I'm thinking of two scenarios where
Yeah.
okay, this one maybe you're gonna host 5,000 people,
Yeah.
but none are high profile, no, just
Yeah,
our
just
everyday
right.
people.
Yeah.
And then on this one it's 500, but high profile people. In terms, does the what is this? Is the budget different?
Very. Because remember, with the high profile, there's a lot of admin, and basically in terms of protocol and adhering to the Baraking, when you say high profile, are we talking government or corporate or private?
Okay.
Because that also different. That also differs. So when we're talking government, it's intense.
Yeah.
It's really intense because number one, with the team that you're working with, they have to be vetted. Basically, all their contact details and IDs have to be taken to the police station, and then they need to be cleared. And then number two, in terms of working with them, you're working with officials who, sure, it's intense. I don't want to lie, it's really intense. But if it's a private client, it's okay. But when you're working with government,
Because I think when it comes to us,
the pressure is just intense.
when it comes to us, I mean, you know us, you know.
Yeah.
Can you make it happen? Is it popping? Okay, let's just get there, and then yeah. I think mostly is it that you. I'm not saying you do, but I would find it in some situations. Maybe you do skip certain procedures. Like, I'm really like, okay, maybe we can without really. Unlike as you said, high-profile people, you have to make sure that listen, I didn't forget 1, 2, 3, and so forth. And
and when with the high profile, they will sit you here. Hey, go ahead. You won't sleep, Shane. You won't sleep. Like with a normal event, irregardless of the number, with a normal event, there's certain you are allowed to make mistakes here and there. But with this kind of
they expect you to know.
Like they're not forgiving.
Yeah.
I don't want to lie, but it's fun. It comes with like event planning comes with the pressure, but a good event is an event that's done and dusted, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like before, during, I should.
And when is the right? Like when it and does it go with the scale in terms of when you begin planning? Okay, let's say as you said, now you're gonna deal with 1.5.
1.5.
1.5, right? Not million, 1,000.
Yeah, 1,000.
In that scale, like how. When do you begin planning? Like before the...
the beauty of that is that with these kind of events, already they have a planner on board. So basically, you just coming to support whatever it is that they've already done so far.
Okay.
So for instance, when I come in as number one, venue and catering. So already the planner, the main planner has done most of the things. Okay. So I just come in from that aspect to support what they've already done.
Okay.
So from my side, because as much as it's a very high profile event, there are certain things that I'm also learning on the job. It becomes a bit stressful. Because that for me, it's like it's the first time I'm handling an event of that caliber and that number from the government's perspective. Okay. So already there's this person who's already done most of the things, and then what delegator brings some of the work to me and say, okay, this is what I have done, and this is where I am lacking, and this is what I need from you.
This person that you're speaking of
is the event planner.
Is it?
Not necessarily government. They've hired an external. They've hired an external event planner. So basically, there are certain things that in their capacity they cannot do. So then they outsource, and that's where I come in. So yeah.
Oh. Yeah, I think did I cover everything that needs to be covered? Okay, I think here's another question.
Okay.
You've been there. You are working, right? Yeah. Now the experience is there and so forth. The finance is there. The connections are there, right? Like, when is it the right time to venture on your own?
I think when you're comfortable.
Field.
I think when you're comfortable, because, for instance, you can never know everything all at once. So with each event or with each client and with each business, there are certain challenges that maybe you might think, okay, I can't do this on my own. But once you've done at least, I think, 10 events and you're thinking, okay, this is me and I can do this without basically the safety net.
Okay.
Go for it.
Okay.
But in terms of clientele,
is that the main one, that clientele?
Because that for personally, where I am, I have access to a more high profile net worth. on Kalong. So I am not necessarily really ready to go on my own. But if you are looking to target any and everybody, I think, yeah, you can do that. But because there is this certain clientele that I'm targeting, I I think I should just take my time with that.
Okay.
And once I've maybe worked in that space for like a good 3 to 5 years, and then I can say, you know what, I'm ready to venture on
you're
my
not
own.
ready yet.
Not yet, no.
And how long have you been in that field?
Now it's over 6 months.
Over 6 months.
Yeah. I worked in this space before and then I took a break. So
Okay.
now I've gotten back into that space.
Okay.
So,
And now, as you said, there's a side hustle. What
that's my
is-
favorite.
That's your favorite. Okay. Let's talk about that side hustle.
Okay, so what I do is that I've created a community and I've named it the Modern Businesswoman. So what we do is that we're helping women who want to basically venture on their own, who want to start a side hustle to say using the platform IFA, so being the independent field advertisers, which is a division of clientele. So what we do is that basically we assist those people start their businesses via IFA, and then basically we train them on how to basically run their businesses independently. IFA, yes.
You break that down for me.
It's
for someone who
independent
doesn't
field advertisers. So basically,
Independent
field advertiser.
advertiser.
Yeah. So what you do is that it's a network marketing division, yeah, clientele. What you do is that you have this product and you're just sharing it with people within your circle and also just finding clients online and offline. So just sharing the product, and whoever is interested in starting their own businesses with your IFA, you help them, you onboard them and help them get started. It's that simple.
And it falls within your business.
It falls within my business. Yeah.
Okay. And then how long has it been?
I've started the business, I think it was in 2018, and then I just stopped for a bit. I went through a lot of personal challenges. So once I went through that turmoil, I put everything on hold.
Okay.
So I am now restarting my life all over again. Yeah. So you could say it's now been 2 months working the business.
Or in the business?
Yeah.
Also, basically, even for it's also a learning process at the same time.
Basically.
Yeah. And you're loving it, as you said.
I am.
Are
Because
you loving it
now-
because it's yours? Like it's
I
something
am
that,
loving it
like,
because
like-
it gives me the opportunity to reinvent myself
Okay.
on Kalanya. So I went through a couple of challenges in my life where I felt like I couldn't make it to another day.
Okay.
So now basically starting everything from scratch gives me the opportunity to get to know myself all over again on Kalanya and fall in love with myself all over again. I am still a bit shaken here and there, but basically just starting all over again. It's the process and I'm enjoying it. It has its challenges, obviously, just like any other business, but
And then when you say helping, like can you break it down? Like what is
Helping.
it financial? Is it also you said networking?
Yeah,
Is
it's networking.
It's like
Okay.
In what sense are you helping?
okay, so when I talk about helping, I'm talking covering the financial and personal development, because I've realized that there are a lot of people who went through what I went through, who are starting all over again. As much as they are working, but they are not satisfied where they are in life.
Okay.
So they're looking for an escape route. So while they are working, we are showing them that there is another way. There is another way that you can make money. Yes, keep the job that you're working currently,
Yes.
but then learn how to make money outside the job. So when the time is right and you feel, "Okay, I don't want to work this job anymore," number one, you've learned how to basically communicate. You've learned marketing and you've learned the leadership skills to run your own business. So even if this side hustle doesn't work out, but already you have the foundation to starting your own business, which is number one, marketing, and number two, sales, and number three, leadership. Because as much as you might have a brilliant business idea, but if you cannot sell that idea, if you cannot do marketing, and if you do not have the necessary leadership skills, it's as good as dead. Because those are the pillars of running a successful business. That's what we cover in
Can
that
you repeat
whole.
them?
It's sales, marketing, and leadership. Yeah.
Sales, why is it important?
Sales, if you can't sell your idea,
What's the point?
what's the point? You can have a brilliant business, but if you cannot communicate that business, if you cannot sell it, it's as good as dead because you can't do it. So basically, getting into this space, you're getting into an environment where you are meeting people who are 10 times or 10 steps ahead of where you want to be.
Yeah.
And basically, they're just showing you and teaching you and guiding you on how to basically get there. Like I said, I started this business in 2018 and then I stopped for a while because the pressure was just intense and I just went through financial turmoils. And now I'm only starting or restarting this journey again and I'm only 2 months in, but I can tell you that I've learned a lot.
The progress is there.
Like the progress is there.
And the progress is definitely like it's a development. What is this? What is this word I'm looking for? English. Okay, let me structure it in a different way.
Yeah.
The pace in which it's going going correctly.
Yeah.
You can keep up with it.
You can keep up with it because as much as you're in business on your own, you're not like necessarily by yourself.
Yeah.
There are people who are here with you, who are walking with you. Like, is it mentors? Do we say mentors or coaches? Because I feel like the word mentor is overused and to a certain extent it has lost its core meaning.
Maybe it has, maybe.
Yeah, so but then you have this person who has introduced you into the space and who are helping you basically progress because they are there basically sharing with you all the information there is. They are there to basically assist you. They are there when you're talking to your first few clients and they're showing you like, instead of saying this, how about you say this and see what happens?
Okay.
So basically, until you are ready to step on your own, they are walking the journey with you.
So
and that's what I've appreciated.
Sales, you need to know that.
Yeah, marketing.
And then marketing.
Marketing, basically getting yourself out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, without
it doesn't matter how, just getting
basically
yourself
getting
out
yourself
there.
out there.
If there's something I've noticed, and particularly now I'm talking about creatives.
Yep.
We are good at that, but you see, it still hits me.
Yeah.
I won't lie. Like if there's something I really need right now, it's marketing. When it comes to other things, I wouldn't say I've mastered them, but I'm really good at them.
Yeah.
There's a lot of room to improve, but I'm good at that. But when it comes to marketing, I think I'll be starting at grade 1. It's hard. I don't know. It's like, okay, how do I get myself out there? Fine, I have the product.
Yeah.
It's right here.
Yeah.
Okay, how do I get it out there? Like, how do I make people notice this? How do I create, as they usually say, a buzz? Like, how do I create that buzz? Like, okay, did you know about so-and-so is doing so-and-so? You should try, or you should check it out. Like, those steps. Yes, I know it can take. The thing is, I know you really can't break it down to that extent where, because you don't have enough time.
Yeah.
But the marketing I've noticed, yes, you know what? That one right there.
Yeah.
That one right there.
Sure, I think
I agree that one is really important because I even myself, like if I had marketing, I mean, it's not an arrogant statement, but I know I wouldn't be where I am.
Do you understand?
Yeah,
like, it's very important
because it's about getting myself out there.
Yeah.
And the main thing for me is, I love my community. I'm part of it, but my community is my community. I want to grow bigger than that.
You understand? Yeah.
So I don't know how to. Yeah. I'll be in touch. I'm sure I might as well just. What is this? I might also start doing a lot of homework when it comes to that also, So it's that, and then it's what is leadership?
It's leadership, yeah.
Why is leadership so important?
Leadership is very important because in business, when you're not strong in that department, people tend to walk all over you. For instance, I'm in a position where I need to, number one, delegate. I'm still struggling there a bit because as much as I am the event planner and there are people who are my subordinates. So if they don't respect you and they don't when you say one thing and then they override all of that and then they do the direct opposite, it just defeats the whole purpose. Because number one, you're the person that the client is talking to, and they've painted the picture as to how they want the day to look. So if you cannot communicate that to your team and they do the direct opposite, the client comes back to you and say, but this is not what we agreed upon. And then when your team basically messes up, remember, it's the client who basically wanted the day that way. But if the team messes up, they don't take the fall. It's you who takes the fall. It's that thing, okay, fine. As much as, yes, we agreed on doing things our way, but it was you who allowed it. So if you are not strong, you will just fall for anything and everything, Mankalwani, and you will just be frustrated throughout. So when your leadership skills are not up to par, it becomes a lot difficult because there are many hard decisions that you need to make throughout the day.
I can attest that. I do agree. I mean, you want someone, especially someone who speaks in, not necessarily confidence. I feel confidence is, it has its place, but it's not the key. What's the word I'm looking for? Authority. If you speak with authority, you understand what I'm saying. What you're saying, you're sure of what you're saying. Yeah. And you want it done. Yeah. Right.
And it makes life a lot easier.
You're a person who rewards in every aspect. What do I mean? You do good, you are rewarded. You do bad, you are rewarded with consequences. Like that kind of thing where okay, this person, I'd rather keep him in this kind of mood. He's the best at this mood, right? But if we tend to move at this direction, so we avoid that kind of thing. I also want to ask, boss and the leadership, is there a difference?
I think there is. I don't want to lie. I think there is because with the boss, your way is the right way, irregardless. But then with leadership, you're open to learning because you know and understand that you can never know everything. As much as, yes, you are allowed to basically take suggestions from everyone, but knowing which suggestions basically work towards your progress, I think that basically falls within leadership because I've worked for bosses who are just a nightmare. Even when you try to basically show them that, hey, as much as you're the boss, but I'm experienced in this particular aspect of the business and I can actually share with you on how to basically move from A to B. They don't want to listen. It's their way or the highway. But leadership is about, number one, educating and understanding. Educating from your perspective what you know, but also having the humility to understand that you can never know everything and basically taking suggestions. But at the end of the day, you make the final decision. Because when the ship sinks or the ship swings, it's you. So basically having the humility to understand that you can never know everything, but having the confidence to know the buck stops with you.
Because I remember I saw, but it was years back. There was this. It was a board. Then on the side it said boss, and then it showed its characteristics.
I know, we did that in business school.
Leader. What's there? Leadership.
Yeah, there's a leadership, and then there's management.
I remember like the characteristics or so forth that they would break. They broke it down in terms of, and the one I remember was that I think it said, I'm paraphrasing in case someone's looking at it like, that's not what it says though. But what I do remember is was that when it comes to a boss, as you said, he's always right.
Yeah, it's always right, regardless.
And he takes all the credit. The credit is all his, that you didn't help. Yeah. But when it comes to leadership, is you give credit to the people that assisted you.
Sure.
Yeah. And then on top of that, you can be corrected.
Yeah.
So I think
it basically goes to having the humility to understanding that you can never know everything, but having the confidence to say, okay, fine, this is the route that we're taking. Because when you're not confident, I engage. You will suffer shame.
Because now what I'm thinking is, okay, you're a boss. Because basically, if you have your own, business, there's a job title for such, so basically. You eventually become a boss. But then at the same time, you have those leadership qualities. Like, how do you really balance the two? Like, are they? Because as I said, if it's not the same thing, then how do they not clash? because they have different characteristics. It's what I'm thinking. Like how does that one work? As you said, you had a boss, and I mean, some of the bosses, as you with experiences, that some of them work like this, and then it's like, oh gosh, this person, I mean, doesn't even want to take any advice. Nothing.
Okay.
I mean, my 2 cents means nothing. At this point.
Your work is to basically do what is said and just get it done, whether it's right or wrong.
So that's what I'm thinking now. Like how does that one work? Something I notice is that maybe it's me, but I feel like the world has broken things down just too many times. I think things that are supposed to make sense kind of contradict one another at some point. Yeah. So I think maybe when it comes to business, shouldn't you just have leadership qualities, basically? I mean, you are leading doesn't matter how small of a scale it is, but at the end, you're still a leader. You're leading people. So I guess it's compulsory, in other words, to learn that.
It is. I don't want to lie, because there's always that one person who's just going to take chances, who's just basically going to overrule whatever it is that you're saying. So basically, when you... Backbone, man. It's very important in this business, because everybody, like I always say, my role, get your taking mob justice. Because number one, it's like you have the client, and then you have your CEO or your boss, and you have your subordinates, and you have the guests. When they're not happy, they know, okay, there is this Emily. Where is Emily? Everybody's looking for you. So when everything goes wrong, they know, here's the scapegoat, whether it was your fault or not, but they're always looking for someone to blame. So it's intense. So when you don't have the backbone to say, when you cannot stand your ground, it becomes a lot more difficult, because you have all these parties who just want to take advantage and who believe that they can do your job way better than you. And when you give them the platform and like, you know what, go ahead, please do it. You find sure. You just see all the mistakes and you're just like, you can just relax, because clearly you don't have the experience to do what I'm doing.
I think the most damaging when it comes to that is the influence they start having around other people. Because they'll start bad mouthing. As you said, it started, when you still have that, you're the leader, the boss, people tend to have that fear. Okay, this person is the boss and stuff, and then you show that, and then even if they talk about you, right, they don't talk about you to that extent. It's a very limited conversation, and then otherwise, in case it falls on the wrong ears, right? But when they realize it's soft, then now you become sort of a punching bag. You're talking about so and so, and then in your own workplace, in your own territory,
you say that
you are the target.
You always are, hey. Because I remember when I first started in this space, to a certain extent, I was a people pleaser, and I still am. But now I know there should be a limit to such. When I started, because I wanted to keep all parties happy, but at the end of the day, nobody was happy, because number one, when the client would say, no, I want everything done, for instance, 8 o'clock in the morning, I run back to my team and I'm like, you know what, this client wants everything done 8 o'clock in the morning. They have less time, number one, to basically prepare. So when I go to them, I don't wanna tell you the experiences I went through. I don't wanna tell you basically the depressing. Because now you're trying to basically please everyone, and when you go to one party and you say this, they interpret it in their own way. And when you go back to that other party and say, instead of doing this, how about we do this? They interpret it in their own way, as if you don't want to do the job. So basically just trying to balance, but now I've learned to be graceful but have a bit of footek in the mix.
Somewhere.
Yeah, somewhere. I was like, it was blind. Relax. Because when you don't do that, everybody wants to walk all over you, hey?
Yeah, and life is hard. People do that, they'll do that. Life is hard. And what I mean hard is it's hard for everyone. So when someone gets that break to,
and then to a certain extent, that's what I wanted to say. It's like, to a certain extent, they also want to flex, no, we can basically tell this person what to do and then they will do it.
Yeah.
And basically, they want to establish their authority, because you find that as much as this person has worked with that company for a certain number of years, they don't have the experience you have on Kalanya. For instance, like more the event where I'm working, I can leave more than 6 months, but I found people who work there longer than I have. And because they understand the company culture, they've worked there longer, they want to, like, there's a certain of, you can't tell me anything.
Yeah,
As much as, like, Joe, like, now I know what I'm doing. I know my job. I understand my job. But they have the thing, and even if you try to work with them with the utmost respect, you just have to say, Joe, like, this is my show and you're part of it.
Because you can see they're not coming with peace.
They're not coming
want
with
to
peace.
improve.
So,
Something I've noticed is, when you go to a different job or something, people have worked there for so long, they start to think it's their second home. I mean, it has to be.
No, and then the worst part, is that they are very close with the boss.
Yeah.
So even if you try to say, okay, this is the direction you're taking, they know, whatever you say or do, the boss will always side with them because of their relationship. It gets a bit frustrating because, number one, as much as I'm representing the company, I'm also representing the client. It's like, I am the middle ground. I want both parties to work together to ensure that this particular project is a success. Now, working with these individuals who are always trying to undermine you every step of the way, and when you look, the management is allowing it. And you're just like, Mara, I'm doing this for the good of everyone else. When this event is a success, you smile all the way to the bank. I smile all the way to the bank. The client is happy because their people are smiling. At the end of the day, let's just basically get the job done. We will deal with the politics another day. Try to sabotage me another day, not here.
Where it really counts the most.
Where it really counts the most.
So this modern businesswoman brand, like, did you come up with the name?
I think I saw it go on the internet a couple of years ago. I just added the. That was me. All of me. But modern businesswoman, like, I saw it and I was like, nah, because I wanted to be my own. I just added the.
Because I wanted to ask it when it comes to, like, when you say modern. Like, when I always hear modern, I'm curious as to, like, what's the idea?
Because the understanding of a businesswoman is always a woman who's in suits, who's basically going to the office and who has a laptop and who has the assistants.
Yes.
But with our kind of business, like, you're a businesswoman, whether you are at home working from your kitchen counter, or working from your bedroom, or working from using your cell phone, or basically just also going to the office. So when it came to that, it was, as much as, yes, we are a businesswoman, but we are not restricted to working in an office.
So it's based on location and attire.
Yeah, it's based on, to a certain extent, because as you might have noticed, that people are now working the businesses on social media. It's no longer having to go to a set venue or a set building to basically conduct business. And that's what we're talking about when we're talking about the modern businesswoman, is that you can work from anywhere and everywhere. But at the end of the day, it's the results that count. Basically, are you moving business? Are you getting clients into your business? Are you generating revenue?
And when it comes to your business, is that where you want it mostly, like on the internet mostly, whether social media or where else? Is that how you move?
Basically, that's where I get most of my clients, on social media. Like, most of the people that I've actually done business with come from social media platforms. I'm mainly online. And then once we've conducted business, or once we've agreed that, okay, fine, we're going to do business together, that's when we move it to the physical. But most of them, we've conducted business online. Some of my clients I've never met physically. Do you understand? So I would meet you via a client.
Okay.
So yeah, that's basically the core of the modern businesswoman, is that you don't necessarily have to be there physically to conduct business.
Okay, that's the advantage. Then the disadvantage, what do you think is the
The
disadvantage?
disadvantage is basically when you don't know how to use social media properly, you land in the hands of the wrong people. There are a lot of scammers as well online. Yeah, I've had my
And you can
share.
differentiate.
You know, to a certain extent, you don't necessarily know who's a scammer and who's not until you've fallen into the trap.
Okay.
For instance, like I've invested, I think it was the total was supposed to be 15,000 rand, and then I invested 7,000 rand into a business. Only
Just
to
to
find
find out.
shame.
There is no business.
There is no business.
Your 7,000 gone, just like that.
Yeah.
And give the
But
thing is,
sure,
you know that some people maybe is watching is like 7. What's that?
you know, it's nothing. But at the time,
like,
it's
at
money
that-
that I
at-
needed,
yeah,
and
like,
I
people
didn't
don't
have.
understand, like,
I had to
7,000.
pull it from somewhere. You do understand?
Yeah.
So, and yeah, it might seem like a small
oh,
figure,
seven.
but it's
For
money I
me,
didn't
even for
have.
me, it's a lot.
It's a lot.
It's a
You
lot,
understand?
yeah. I'm
Yeah,
not-
even till today,
Yeah,
I
maybe
still-
years later when I'm sipping on something really expensive, I'll be like,
what is 7,000? That's just my airtime.
and I hope
but-
when I say that, I'm not saying it because I said our currency has fallen. You know, I'll be saying it because
because life is
happening.
good. Life is good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
no,
then I'm also curious about the woman part. Why the woman?
I understand women. I am woman. So, like, I want to tackle challenges that I know and I've experienced personally, as opposed to just generalizing. Like, I wanted to talk to somebody who understood the path that I went through and who say, you know what, I'm also going through what you went through. How do I then make it out? For instance, the kind of woman that I target is a woman who's a mom.
Yes.
Who has kids, who is basically trying to make needs end, but to a certain extent struggling. In order for me to basically afford this mug, I need to sell this. I cannot have it both. That's the kind of woman that I'm targeting. A woman who's basically struggling when it comes to confidence, speaking in public. That's the kind of woman I'm talking to because I've suffered. Like, you know, those are the challenges that I've gone through. I'm not where I want to be as yet, but I'm working through those challenges. Those are the kind of
I'm a
woman
young man.
Yeah.
I lack confidence, and where will I get assistance?
You know, that's a good question. That is a great question. We do have basically platforms for men. There are people within the community who basically saying, I'm speaking to both.
Yes.
But I've chosen to directly speak to women because I know, I understand, and I feel like they understand. So I haven't necessarily basically wanted to talk to everyone because I felt like to a certain extent I needed to work on myself because when it comes to confidence, it's still a bit shaky.
So is it like
For me, basically,
as it
this
goes.
platform was as much as I am healing you, I'm healing myself. I'm learning as much as I'm teaching.
Okay.
That's why I wanted to talk to this specific woman.
I'm saying that, because I'll be honest, I hear a lot too many women this, women that.
Women that,
women.
yeah.
So I'm wondering what's left for
What's
the young
left
man?
for men?
Yeah. So it's. And why? Like, why do you why all of a sudden the need for that? Like,
You know,
the
that's
curiosity
your
for me.
homework.
Like,
That is your
I'm
homework.
just
Why are
curious.
you
Why the
not
need, like, all
opening
of a
up
sudden
spaces for more
No,
men?
I can't do that. I can't limit it. I'm opening for everyone.
You're opening.
I have to
everyone,
open
man.
for everyone.
I
don't
think
want
that's
to-
also my homework too.
I don't want to limit it. Yes, at a certain extent. Okay, when you begin, as I
Yeah.
said, I wanted to ask, like, if you begin, do you think, like, in the future, maybe you'll broaden it up more?
True.
Up, right?
True.
Because, as I said, I don't hear much of
And you know,
young-
basically to answer that,
I don't know, I just
as much
too
as
many.
yes, in this community I'm targeting mostly women,
Yeah.
the people who've reached out more are actually men. Funny enough.
Uh,
So I'm actually trying to work on structuring it
Yeah.
where it basically accommodates everyone. But for now, I'm just like, let me just focus on women because at this point, I feel like they need my help more and I can help them more as compared. Like, hey, man,
yeah.
most of them that as much as, yes, they're reaching out, but hey, You know, it's like, I nala super shame.
Men just-
Men just
men.
want to be men.
Men are just
Even
be
when it's
men.
not necessary, like,
Really.
no, relax.
Yeah. Let's get back to work.
Yeah, let's get one color. Yes,
Yeah.
no, come on. So basically, for now, it's closed off. I'm talking to specifically women.
Okay.
Yeah, in future, yes, I might change it from woman to warrior to accommodate everyone. But for now, it's women. I might even change the whole name.
Is it? Oh.
Yeah.
No, it's,
But for now, I'm talking to women.
You know, whenever I see a development, something,
Yeah.
What is this word I'm looking for? It's not excitement.
Yeah.
It's in a sense hope. Like, at least there's some people who really want to do good. But I won't lie, I'm still concerned about our young guys. To me, honestly, I am, because I don't think there's much anymore for them. To be honest, you know, for me, I don't think there's much. So, there's, what do they call it? Pendulum. So my brother likes to use that example. He says, you know, when humanity tries and fixes something, man, it's like a pendulum. It can't balance. It never could get it right. It just can't balance.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, okay, let's fix the one-two problem, and then it just goes too much.
Yeah.
I like making examples of health. Health is a good example, right? Because at least it won't create any flames. I think it does, because people are very sensitive when it comes to food. But still, I'll take that risk. I don't mind the beef. Hey, see what I did there?
No, I know that's what you said. Like, no, you just had to go there, but
Yeah.
okay.
Okay. So we used to eat, I think, almost anything, right? And then years later we found out, okay, maybe fat is not so good.
Yeah.
And then what did we do? I think it was in the 70s or 80s, somewhere there. We're like, no fat. Like,
Yeah.
it was no fat at
I
all.
remember no fat, no butter.
Like,
Basically
yeah.
contributed to all these unnecessary health
Like,
issues.
we took it to that max. We're
Yeah.
like, yeah.
And
right?
after that, they're like, no,
Yeah,
fat
no-
is
no
okay,
fat, no.
but
Then
sugar
fat
is
is
the
okay.
problem.
Then suddenly we cut that, and so that's what I'm saying. Like, we think everything we should do. We don't think, okay, maybe there's a balance. Guys,
Yeah.
wait. Let's not go all the way. Let's stick right here, right? Because then we find that, okay, if you don't take this, also it's actually very unhealthy to not eat certain things, especially fat. It's also good for 1, 2, 3. Oh, by the way, fat is a broad word. There's natural fat. There's
saturated fat.
Like,
Go
wait a minute, guys. you get what I'm saying? So it's like that pendulum, like, we swing all the way. So when it comes also to that part where, okay, a certain group hasn't been getting too many opportunities, you don't body like, oh, we're going all the way,
we're
like
going
all the way.
And then
right?
when you go all the way, you now
yeah.
neglect.
Then
this
again, when
group.
you neglect, you find it again. Okay, wait, we did a mistake. Then they go back all the way. So
No, I
I
get
don't
what
think
you're
like
saying.
they could
There's
ever
a balance.
balance
Yeah.
that stuff. Yeah. But anyway, we had a good time. I think I
I
covered
was saying,
everything.
if
Did I
it-
cover everything?
So
Did I cover
I think you've
everything?
covered everything.
Yeah? Did I?
No, I think you have.
Yeah, I think I
I
have.
think you've covered
Yeah.
everything.